Here are 20 things that you didn't know about Overwatch 2. Every hero's quick melee button actually involves a very slight knockback, meaning technically every hero can get environmental kills, except for Brick, whose quick melee is bound to flail, which has no knockback attached to it. Reinhardt's melee is also bound to his hammer, but this does come with built-in knockback, making Torbjorn's hammer the only other melee weapon in the game that doesn't have knockback. That's what I call a hammer diff. Cassidy's High Noon actually fires from right to left of the Cassidy screen. This means that if you're firing against a Reinhardt with his team lined up to your right side of him, you can use the first few bullets to break his shield and the last to take out the Reinhardt, even though he had his shield activated. Sticking on the theme of Cassidy's left and rights, Cassidy's right click actually cannot headshot. Try as you must on those big-headed diamond players, Fan the Hammer is unable to click heads, despite it being the literal same weapon as his primary fire. Zarya's Graviton Surge actually doesn't require line of sight to take effect, meaning that you can technically grab people from above, below, or through any wall. Why you'd ever want to do this, I have no idea, but it certainly is possible if you're feeling a little goofy. And on the topic of walls, a surprising amount of people don't know this, but Sim and May's walls alongside Baptiste's amplification matrix can all be rotated by pressing their assigned ability button again. By default, this is Q for Sim and Bap and E for May. This honestly adds so much versatility to these abilities that Overwatch should probably hint at this mechanic somewhere on the screen in my opinion. With Doomfist and Bastion's ultimates, you can use your mouse to position your camera directly above the area of effect to reach high grounds. However, this doesn't work above a certain height and can instead position you below various bridge structures within Overwatch. But if you hold right click to zoom out, you're able to scale up almost any vertical height in the game. Torbjorn's turret can be annoying, but it's handy to know that it actually has a lock-on time. This allows heroes to jiggle peek the turret, enabling you to fight it without taking any damage. This can be useful for finishing off low HP turrets from mid-range distance, but otherwise isn't something you should really be focusing on mid-fight. Another fun Torbjorn fact is that his Molten Core is actually enhanced by Ana's Nano Boost, but not as you would expect. Nano gives a 50% damage buff to the 25 impact damage of Molten Core, but will not boost its damage over time effect. So technically it does apply, but it's really not that useful. Switching sides of his interaction, Ana's primary fire damage actually occurs as a damage over time effect. It may not seem obvious at first, but the hit markers on screen actually represent the size of damage being dealt at any time. Ana's 70 damage is split into 5 uneven ticks over a 0.59 second period. This means that a hero on 70 HP can technically survive being shot by Ana if they can cleanse themselves of the damage within the 0.59 second time period. And technically every hero has the ability to cleanse damage, since health packs actually remove all damage over time effects in Overwatch. These include Ana's primary fire, Sombra's new virus, Widowmaker's venom mine, Junker Queen's bleed effect, Malga's burn, and Ash's burn. Being under the effects of any of these and touching a health pack will immediately stop the damage over time and give you the health bonus on top. Ash's Dynamite specifically has a few quirks, including how it functions with Mercy's damage boost. This has been changed in the past, but Ash's Dynamite actually becomes damage boosted if a Mercy is right-clicking you when you throw the projectile. This means that you can throw the projectile, the Mercy can run off into Narnia, and 2 seconds later a damage boosted Dynamite can absolutely burn through an enemy. Mercy's beam has always been an interesting concept in Overwatch, and its interaction with Kiriko's Kitsune Rush is no exception. Mercy's healing beam actually heals faster under the effects of Kitsune Rush, as it technically increases her fire rate. Her pistol's fire rate is also increased in Kitsune, but her damage beam is not. So there's another excuse to whip out the pistol for all you battle Mercies out there. The support role passive ability introduced in Overwatch 2 allows all support heroes to heal themselves after not taking damage. But this passive healing actually adds onto your scoreboard healing numbers and also increases your ultimate charge by how much you heal. I guess Blizzard really just wanted to double down on this being the best passive ability in the game, huh? Baptiste's Immortality Field is another ability that also provides healing for his ultimate charge. If a hero is under 25% of their maximum health and walks into Baptiste's Immortality Field, they will actually be boosted back up to 25% of their max health, and Baptiste will receive credit for this healing. Ana is also a hero that gains extra healing from how the game is coded, in the fact that her primary fire's projectile hitbox is 3 times as large on teammates as it is on enemies. Shown here is the maximum distance you can hit the projectiles from on both allies and enemies, which is certainly quite a difference when it comes to longer ranged fights. Although very rare, it is actually possible to draw a game of push. If both teams capture the halfway checkpoint once and leave the robot whilst it's doing its checkpoint animation, the game will end in a draw as long as the robot never crosses past either checkpoint again. This will never happen, but it is a fun fact at least. There's another cool objective quirk that you may have never considered on Midtown. This part of the payload moves by itself until after these doors close, which is useful, right? However, even though you don't need to stand on the payload to move it here, you do need to stand on it to prevent the timing wick from burning down in an overtime situation. Just another one of Overwatch's weird quirks, I guess. And another weird Overwatch quirk is that some maps have different opening theme songs depending on whether you're attacking or defending. And Midtown is a prime example of this. Listen closely. This doesn't apply for every map, but hey, at the very least, some of them are different. But of course, there isn't the only contextual sound change within Overwatch that you may have completely missed before. Some heroes' weapons get slightly higher pitched and more hollow as they run out of ammo. And to add to this, Winston, Orisa, and Mei actually get custom sound effects when running low on ammo. If you listen closely, you can actually hear Winston's Tesla cannon overcharge before he needs to reload. On the topic of Winston's Tesla cannon's ammo, it technically doesn't even have ammo. What you see in the bottom right is actually a percentage. This is evidenced by the fact that you can tap his Tesla cannon, deal a tick of damage, but not actually decrease the ammo pool. This also works for Zarya. If this was a strict ammo resource, you would have to use at least one ammo to deal damage, but you can technically deal damage twice per one ammo with Winston and Zarya's primary fires. I also bet that you didn't know that this is the best channel on YouTube for all things Overwatch tips and strategy, so be sure to smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below of your favorite unknown fact in Overwatch, and you may just appear in a future video.